All right, so I want to thank Gravely because they've not only brought out mowers, but they've brought this flail mower out that is for hillsides. And I'm going to let them walk you through it because I literally know nothing about this machine, but I am super excited to see what it's capable of.
Yeah, so this is the Ovis 40 RC. This is a 40-inch flail mower. It's got 56 knives, Y-shaped knives underneath that drum. It's run by a 23.5 horse Briggs & Stratton engine. Then it has the ZT3100 hydrogear transaxles. Obviously you can see it's pretty aggressive track. What this unit is really designed for is hillside sloping terrain and also thick brush. So it can really cut up to about 50-55 degrees on a slope, and then cut about inch and a half wide diameter brush. So if you got some terrain like retention ponds, on and off ramps for the interstates, you can even fit under solar panels. So if you've got solar panel fields that need to be maintained, that is the design and purpose of this unit. The other thing it mitigates is the liability. So instead of having 6 guys on the side of a hill slope with some weed whackers or something, you can have a couple of these units running at the same time. We'll kind of give you an overview of the remote.
It's pretty cool, ain't it?
This is run by a remote control, and it is RF, so radio frequency, one remote to one unit. Very simple joystick design, so you have your up and down, side to side right here. You do have your track control, and then you can actually adjust how much flow is going to left or right track. So if you're on that hillside,
right.
Yep.
If you was on a really steep hill, you would want more power to the lower because all the weight's on the lower one. Yeah, that's interesting to think of.
This has about 1,000 feet of range from the unit to the remote. 3-gallon fuel tank, and then I would say normal conditions, so thick brush on a slope, we're rating about 6.5 to 7 hours of runtime. So if you're just doing some overgrown grass and some property that it's just hard to get to, I think you'd be able to get to a lot more time on this unit. Everything is done by hand.
So as far as the head lift and everything, it's by hand?
Mm-hmm. And so this mitigates a lot of the cost on the unit.
Right.
Some people ask us, why we don't have
an automatic
adjustment on the remote control.
That's what I was wondering.
Electronic lift or something like that to be able to raise and lower.
It just keeps the unit cheaper.
It does, but it's also safety. I mean, for this type of unit, you want to be relatively close to it. I mean, not just a couple of feet, but enough in the instance where you need to go up and change something. The other factor is being able to set this one height and go over what you need to be doing. So this isn't a manicure finish lawnmower.
Right.
This is a brush mower. So really, how we see it is you set this height once, and you're going.
So
you're laying it down.
What is the height that it will go up to and down to? Obviously, it probably goes to nothing, like basically rubbing the ground.
So this will give you a little bit better visual. Obviously, you will not be able to turn the blades on at this height.
Right.
Because you're going to have those flails exposed.
And you'll be shooting stuff everywhere.
Correct. You notice you have a roller right there to lay the stuff down. So really and truly, the lowest, or I say highest height you could cut is about 3 to 4 inches.
Okay.
And then you can go down from there. So you do have these skids on the bottom. So if you are running it, you really want to lay some stuff down.
And you can adjust that, I'm assuming?
So you can adjust it, yes, but it does float.
Okay.
So this head does float naturally.
Okay.
So if it does encounter some thicker stuff,
it'll just float up.
It'll actually sit up and then shoot it down.
Nice. That's what I was wondering when you got something thick, with it being manually adjusted, what was going to happen when you got to something like that, and it couldn't go up and over it because it was bumping into it. But if it floats, then it should be able to just roll up on the stick and then brush it down.
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's take this back here and see how it does. We're going to clear out some stuff in the back and see how it works. grass right here? Can you turn it on just to see how it cuts that grass? I mean, it's knocking it down perfectly. It does clump, but I mean, it's knocking it down just fine.
Correct. So a lot of times, like demoing this, if it's just in high grass,
Right.
it'll still cut the high grass, like this stuff.
Right.
And I would consider this pretty right way.
Yeah. So you can see that a lot of that's taller than, or as tall as the machine. Hey, come over here, hon. I mean, it's just mowing up all that brush and everything through there like it's nothing. And most of that stuff's twice as tall as that. It doesn't even sound like it's bogging down. Yeah, boy, that thing's eating it up. And this is all on hillsides, guys. You can't tell it in the video, but this is a decent little slope.
Stuck in there. We
That's
maxed
what,
it out.
that's what I thought. We'll have to raise it up and see what we... I was wondering if it was going to hit. I mean, you can see, you guys, look at this, look how big this limb was. I mean, it chewed it up, spit it out, broke that in half. I mean, it's going through a lot of stuff. I mean, for a lot of guys, you could literally keep all your fence line, hillsides and stuff, you know, cleaned up and go through. I mean, as you can see here, I mean, it's went through all of this brush. It goes through grass, weeds. I mean, this is thick garbage that is needed cleaned up, and you can see how it's tearing it all through there and ripping through that.
There's a piece of fabric or something.
Looks like a tarp.
Tarp. That's what got it.
Look at that. Tarp wadded up in there. You need a knife?
I got one, but let's see what we can do here.
Hold this a minute, Wes. Let me see. What'd it do? Wad up around one of the flails in there and then bogged it out?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe if you cut it off at the bottom, that'll give you a little bit more. Oh, it ain't tore up. It just faulty systemed itself and wadded up around through there. It would do that to about anything. All right, so you can see through here, you know, there was a big wad of those little saplings through this, and over here, all through this, I mean, you can see what it was going through. Those are probably 1 inch thick at the base, and I mean, it's not like it's taking on just a little bit. It's absolutely just grabbing the whole thing, mulching it up. I mean, it threw that out the front and would have kept going and cutting it out, but you can see how thick some of these are. This like this, so that'll give you guys an idea of what you can cut down and mulch up when you're looking into these machines. But I mean, for hillsides and stuff, this keeps your guys safe, gives you the ability to stand anywhere you want, and he said it's about 1,000-foot range from the remote to the control. And I'm not that good at running it, but I could literally clear this all within an hour's time easily throughout this whole back part and not have to be, I mean, I could literally sit in the air conditioning of my truck if I wanted to pull my truck right up here at this fence line, sit here and mow this whole area, load that back up on a trailer and go to the next job and never even, you know, have to get out of the air conditioner, but to unload it and load it. Pretty wild deal. This is a pretty steep hill here. That hillside just drops completely over. You can tell how steep it is because the whole back end of the mower comes straight up in the air when he tries to back up at first. And I know in video this looks like it's just flat, but you know, these are all this is hillside over through here going down. So on this machine, one of the things that, you know, that you got to think about, if you're someone who's looking into something like this is roughly a 900 to 1,000 pound machine. It's pretty distributed as far as weight evenly. So you can see, you can take it across normal ground. As long as you know how to drive it, you're not really going to tear your grass up. But on hillsides and stuff like that, you can weave and bob this through trees way easier than you can a skid steer or something like that. So you're going to be able to take this. Now, this isn't a stump grinder, but if you've got a bunch of little brush, a bunch of blackberry bushes, whole bunch of municipal places, retention ponds, things like that, you're going to be able to take this, and literally anybody that can use that controller, they're going to be able to use it and drive this machine. So it's not like you've got to teach someone how to drive a skid steer, go get a flail head or something like it. I mean, you can buy this and cover a lot of properties and things of that nature that you would normally have to have a skid steer for with that style head. So keep that in mind when you're looking into this machine. This is a very, very nice machine. He said it goes up to 50 to 60 degree slopes. Mm-hmm. And there's been people stick it on more, but as you can see, I mean, it's got literally like 1-inch spike rubber tires. I mean, it's built like a tank. Same design, even has the cogs in the thing that go inside and drive down through there. So this is something that a lot of people could use for brush and things of that nature and take a lot of property down, and anybody can use it.